possibility that discussion may expand well beyond the parameters of an agenda.
Well,
but I don't believe, I must say, I do not believe anybody was trying to hide. In fact, I know that there was quite wide dissemination, and we were surprised at the lack of turnout for that meeting. It was very comprehensive with regard to those two departments and their financial situation.
But a special meeting should be held for whatever, and the topic of just everything in the budget is quite widespread.
Well, there's no doubt that we can always do a better job trying to explain what is coming forward so that people can make the judgment as to whether they wish to attend and participate. But as you know, we have recommended time and time again for people to come forward to discuss the budget and the implications that is on them.
So, Your Worship, just on this point, I understand Mr. Taylor's point. So this Thursday, there will be a public meeting held on the budget, and we're going through the sequence of the functional priorities. The last one was protective services. This one will be traditional infrastructure, specifically public works and engineering. And I'd invite you and any other members of the public that are interested in this issue to attend. It's going to be in the training room this Thursday, the 16th at 4 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Barry. Both the fire department and the RCMP operations are a large expenditure within our financial planned budget. Why not expose these to discussion in open council? I remain concerned with the level of service of our fire department in the provincial first responder program without financial support from the provincial authorities. I believe lower cost vehicles should be used by our fire department, not $500,000 plus firefighting vehicles, as well as the selected type of call to attend. It is amusing to hear the attendance of a fire vehicle in medical aid or accident scene as the acting as the command of a scene. I raise question to the continuing large expenditures when the average response time for 2007 was 6 minutes, and that's in your information last Thursday, or your last special meeting I referred to, sorry. That's in this last agenda special meeting I just referred to. Of 6 minutes, after the promotion of 4 minutes was necessary for the construction of stations 2 and 3, which may support more attention to the main role of the fire department, firefighting.
Yeah, but let's remember that we're talking apples and oranges here. We're talking about the average over the whole community versus turnout times in the geographical areas that those fire halls were being proposed.
Yes, that was, if I remember the right, Sir Chief Digby, was to create the 4-minute response throughout the community. I support improved recognition of our fire department volunteers, which has the capability, I believe, of cost savings. I do not support the request for 11 more RCMP officers. I raised the question to the use of the program Prime in our municipal policing. Apparently, according to this report, a 30% increased work demand on each police officer using the computer system in their cars, etc. I'm not aware of any reduction in RCMP support staff with this Prime program. To accomplish the return of police work to the member and clerical work to the support staff, I asked for a re-evaluation of the Prime program in municipal policing. One answer might be to focus on the bike squad, as I see no computers on the bikes. I believe an increase in the number of community police stations in appropriate locations, including volunteers, can be a value-added aid to the cost of policing in a community. Nanaimo's only one hidden away on Wharf Street is not the answer and is a poor example of such a valuable program which started in Nanaimo. I remain of the opinion that taxpayers are paying towards police service outside of the community boundaries. I think there's too much service provided to outlying areas that is costing us taxpayers money. And I have something to pass out. As expected, the portrayed 7% tax increase now has a new expenditure, a council pay raise. Consider approximately half of the surveyed municipalities are of larger population, up to 50% larger, with the same number of council members. These communities appear to receive a greater value for their money. as we elected council members on an equal status as a member of the council to represent the community. I do not support any member of the council gaining any additional funds, such as representative on the regional district board. There is a fairness to the members who attend other duties without extra pay. Like, we can get a member going to the RDN receiving more pay. We can get somebody going to Parks and Rec, etc., and other duties gets no more pay. In keeping with the concern of other governments passing on the dollars, which you have spoken about many a time, Mayor Corpin, and I support the extra RDNP pay. I support the extra RDN pay going to our council remuneration account. No council member should be serving our community and collecting from two sources at the same time. Total earnings, council and regional district pay calculations for a few of the surveyed municipalities for 2007 are. And I've given you some communities with their pay from your chart, plus their regional district pay. And Nanaimo is about $9,100. So we add those together and you get some averages. So in figuring that out, Nanaimo mayor is receiving $894 more than the average of the other communities at this time. And the councillor is receiving $2,346 more than the average of the other communities at this time, including both fees together. Without today's recommendation, pay raises, Nanaimo councillors are the highest paid. The mayor by $894, and the RDN and the 6 councillor RDN members by $2,346. Sorry, I don't support any raises in pay.
Thank you. Any questions to Mr. Taylor? Just a comment on the information service, or the information system that the police are now testing out in Nanaimo, as you referred to it, is called PRIME. I can't remember what the acronym stands for, but it's a new computerized information system that documents all of the calls for service and goes into the police system to help correlate different incidents and different people and suspects, etc. And there is no doubt that the input of the initial information is taking longer than the old database system. However, they anticipate that as the PRIME system is being utilized more and more, there will be greater and greater efficiencies and ability of the officers to use it and to access it, and they already know that the sheer quality of the information is leading to far better resources after the initial input. So the analysis and the cost benefit is coming from the province. They're analyzing the Nanaimo situation and a number of other municipalities in the province. We'll get a copy of the report, and it may be a keystone in resolving some of these historic problems between municipal police forces and different RCMP jurisdictions not communicating with each other. We do not want in this province to have another serial killer going that dastardly work in different communities because there's a lack of coordination and being able to track this type of activity. So that's one of the reasons for PRIME. We're looking at the cost benefit, and we're alert to the issues there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Corcoran, for that comment. And I often remember your city manager, yourself, and your wisdom of your council moving towards trying to put more clerical staff, etc., into these operations because the
more efficient use of resources.
More. And it's too bad we couldn't try to work that in the start.
At the meeting we had with the police chief and the presentation at the finance committee that you referred to earlier, the police chief did indeed talk about the benefits of utilizing municipal staff to help make that whole information system and data entry more efficient. And one of the recommendations in the budget is for a specialist to analyze different crimes and geographic and timelines, etc., to try and improve the efficiencies as well. Hopefully, Mr. Berry, did you want to add anything on that one?
Well, Your Worship, there's two issues that I'd like to provide. One off, there's an insatiable demand for resources for protective services, and in particularly in the policing area. So it's just demonstrably not the case where there is less work for municipal employees. That being said, I have often said, and it's very important for people to understand, it's one of the reasons why we do things the way we do in terms of only recommending increased staff when it's seen to be at a point where we will never lay those staff off because we don't have that ability contractually. So Mr. Taylor's wrong. There isn't a reduction in workforce that would allow us to lay people off. And even if that were the case, which it's not, we can't lay them off anyway. That's one of the fundamental issues around talking about old contractual provisions.
Collective agreements limit our ability in that business-like efficiency. Yeah.
The second point, in fairness to council, that I want to address, and Mr. Taylor may know the answer to this, but it's potentially a little bit unfair to be comparing council, not that it's necessarily a meaningful comparison anyway, but if we're comparing apples to apples, Nanaimo has 7 councillors on the regional district. And these municipalities, I don't know the numbers, but they certainly have far fewer. So I just want to be careful when we're making gross generalizations and blanket statements that every municipality, particularly in terms of involvement with regional districts, it's a different situation.
It's one of the reasons why I've suggested for quite some time that the special committee of the legislature that has analyzed the pay the merits and the formulas for creating a pay rate for MLAs should also be given the task of setting a reasonable, logical formula for other publicly elected bodies such as municipal councils, regional district boards, and school district boards, because each unit or each entity doing a different system and putting different criteria makes this a whole dog's breakfast of rates, and comparisons one to the other are almost impossible. I think the provincial government should take this inherent conflict of interest out of our hands and set it to the special committee on pay at the legislature, and they come up with a reasonable formula for all of us. But they don't want to do that. Are there any other citizens? Are there other citizens who wish to speak to issues about the budget at this time? We'll proceed on. Mayor's report. Just a quick reminder: the recent events of the Nanaimo emergency alert system showed great benefit to those members of this community who either went to the city website nanaimo.ca and saw the little yellow triangle and registered their name and phone numbers with the system, or they phoned 758-1311, 758-1311, and got signed up. That kind of information can save lives. Please do not procrastinate anymore. I'm a world-class procrastinator, but even I've signed up for this. I know members of council have signed up for this. Please sign up for this alert system. It could save your life. It could save lives of your family and your friends. Please do so. 758-1311, or go to the website nanaimo.ca and look for this yellow triangle, and you'll be glad you did. Proclamations. We've received a request from Donya Fisk, Area Manager in the Heart and Stroke Foundation of BC and the Yukon, requesting that the month of February be proclaimed Heart Month in the city of Nanaimo.
Move the Mayor's proclamation.
Move Councillor McNabb, seconded Councillor Bestwick. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. We received a request from Kamala Tang, Chair of Team Nanaimo, Nanaimo Spirit of BC Community Committee, requesting that February 8th and to February 16th be proclaimed Spirit of BC Week in the city of Nanaimo. Move Councillor Manhas, seconded Councillor Unger. Any discussion? You've got good spirit, Councillor Manhas. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. And we've also received a request from Valerie Patrick, Literacy Outreach Program Manager, Vancouver Island Regional Library, requesting that January 27th be proclaimed Family Literacy Day in the city of Nanaimo.
Move the Mayor's proclamation.
Second.
Moved Councillor Holdham, seconded Councillor Manhas. All in favor? Let me just jump back here a second to the Mayor's report. I just want to make a quick clarification, because I'm sure that when certain members of the public saw this article in today's Daily News, they immediately jumped to a conclusion that was not intended. There's a statement here which says, Corpin feels the pay scale for councillors is too low. That is accurate, but every time I have said that, and I've said this for years, every time I've said that, and I said it again during the newspaper interview, I've always prefaced it with the following statement. I am not complaining or talking about the mayor's pay. I am referring, because I think that's fair, I'm referring to the work of the councillors, all these people around me, not myself, not the mayor, whoever's sitting in the mayor's chair. Their pay is, in my opinion, grossly under. So anybody who thinks I was complaining about the mayor's pay scale by that statement, please don't write any letters or send them to the editor who cut out what I actually said. Staff reports, development services. Development permit 482 for 15 Front Street. The staff recommendation is council bring forward zoning bylaw amendment, bylaw 2008 4000.420, item 13 under the bylaw section for final adoption, and authorize the issuance of development permit 482 at 15 Front Street for a proposed mixed-use development subject to the lot consolidation and the following variants. The flanking street yard requirement at Chapel Street is 1.5 meters, and the raised ramp in the front door reduces the setback to 0 meters, a proposed variance of 1.5 meters. Moved Councillor McNabb, seconded Councillor Sherry.
Mr. Chairman, we'll have to do the development variance after we adopt the bylaw.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so.
Okay, we'll hold that in abeyance then. Development variance permit for 501 Stewart Avenue. The staff recommendation is that council direct staff to proceed with the required statutory notification for that development variance 127 at 501 Stewart Avenue.
Move the recommendation.
Move Councillor Sherry, seconded Councillor McNabb. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Councillor Unger opposed. The balance of council in the... You're going to be a little bit faster. I know you've got a bum arm there, but a little bit faster. All in favor? Opposed? Carried unanimously. Liquor application, 7th Annual Maple Sugar Festival. The staff recommendation is that council direct the staff to advise the liquor distribution branch that it supports the special occasion license application for Association des Francophones de Nanaimo to serve liquor at the Bevan Park Centennial Building in conjunction with the 7th Annual Maple Sugar Festival on the following dates.
I would so move the sweet motion.
Move Councillor McNabb and seconded Councillor Cameron. Friday, February 22nd, Saturday, February 23rd, and Sunday, February 24th. Any discussion? Councillor, all in favor? Motion is carried. Motion to receive the report of the public hearing and minutes of Thursday, January 3rd.
So moved.
Move Councillor Sherry, seconded Councillor Holdham. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Rezoning application, the council, staff recommendations, the council consider the amendment and direct staff to secure the community contribution as a condition of rezoning. What is your direction? Move Councillor Manhas, seconded Councillor Unger. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. We've dealt with the official community plan 10-year review update under the motions we debated earlier.
Well, Bill might have some updates on it again.
Councillor Holdham, did you have anything to add?
Oh, no,
Councillor McNabb would really like to hear something else from you. Next item is subdivision approval, park and cash in lieu for 2270 Bellwood Road.
Move the recommendation.
Move Councillor McNabb, seconded Councillor Sherry, that council approve the payment of cash in lieu for the subdivision at that site. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Staff recommendation with regard to item H is that council award the contract for the City Hall Annex heating, ventilation, air conditioning retrofit for the Franklin Street building for the low tender of Island West Coast Developments for the low bid of $265,000.
Move the staff recommendation.
Move Councillor Sherry, seconded Councillor Brennan. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Nuisance property. Is there anyone in attendance who wishes to speak to the nuisance property at 656 Lambert Street? If so, please come to the microphone. 656 Lambert.